Bruyne's come around. Holland! Goal! It's Mo Salah! It's Mo Salah! Absolutely sensational!
And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream. Good evening, everyone. How are we today? Let me know if you can hear me. I've got a new mic set up, so hopefully I sound even clearer now. But hopefully I also don't sound too loud with this new setup, but it's a bit more easy. The mic used to be on the desk, now it's right in front of me. So let me know if that sounds all right or if it's too loud or too loud. Welcome all to the stream. I mean, it's capping up. It says it's on the maximum volume here, so maybe it's too loud, but I don't know. Maybe it sounds fine for you. Welcome all to the stream. We are back for Gameweek 7. To bench boost or not to bench boost? That is the question. Is anyone using it this week? Is anyone thinking about it? Has anyone activated it and then deactivated it? Obviously, if anyone doesn't know, you can deactivate the bench boost. Likewise, the triple captain. If you ever activate either of those two, you can still deactivate. They're not like you've locked them in. So I'm wavering. I'm really wavering this week. I was pretty settled on it, but there's just a few little things that have got me thinking maybe I'll just, I don't know, maybe just wait till Game Week 8, use it after the break, and hopefully things go well over the international break, no issues pop up, and then look to use the bench boost after the international break. Maybe make a transfer. I could do something like Ndai to Enzo or Sarr, because Ndai's got Man City away after the break. Enzo has, is it Forest away? Sarr's got Bournemouth, so I could pivot away from Ndai and bench boost, which gives me a better bench in Game Week 8, as long as nothing goes wrong. And that is the risk. That's the kicker with saving it. I really hate the bench boost because you need 15 players to all be fully fit. You need to be able to count on their minutes, and I just don't know this week. But we'll talk lots about that during the stream. Stevie was asking about a wildcard draft. Nothing's really changed since last week. So if I was wildcarding this week, it would be the same team you see here, Stevie. I think the thing I would change is I would go Enzo over Ndai. I still really like Enzo, and I kind of regret not getting him on the wildcard now. He scored last match. I don't know if you guys saw, Maresca was asked about Palmer, and he said he's definitely not available this week, and we're going to have a meeting next week. And just him saying that we're going to have a meeting, to me sounds like maybe he's going to have surgery or something, or they're going to have to make some kind of decision on that groin injury, because it's an ongoing problem. It's not a new one. And that just keeps re-injuring in a World Cup year as well. So I'm wondering if they make a difficult decision there. And if that happens, of course, Enzo becomes even more appealing. Game week 2 and 3, Palmer didn't play. Enzo got 1 goal, 1 assist, those 2 games. So Enzo's really tempting me, so that's another reason why using it in Gaming 8 could end up better, maybe not. It's always unpredictable, international breaks. And obviously players coming back, some have travelled far, who knows. Anyway, welcome all to this stream. Read out a few names. We've got a lot in already. We've got Tushar here, Class of 23, Ray's here, Harry's here, Mr. Health, Sambo, Ndumiso, apologies if I said that wrong, Oyvind, Finlay, George, Sard, David, Caden, Niall, Mads, and everyone else. Lots of members here as well. We've got Daniel, Austin. Welcome all to the stream. FPL David's here. Good to see you. How are we doing, Razan? Mitchie? Pinners Reacts. Good to see lots of familiar names as well. Welcome all to the stream. He's copying the rank number ones team. I've not even seen the rank number one's not made a transfer. Have you seen his team? He's still not made a transfer. We're going into Gameweek 7 and the guy that's number 1 in the world's not made a transfer yet. How mad is that? He's not he has touched his team actually. He's triple captain and that was it. That's the only chip he's used, and he's not like he's still got Delap on his bench, and this guy's number 1 in the world. Crazy. I mean, he had like Grealish from Gameweek 1. I forget if he was at Everton before the deadline. I think he was actually. But look at his midfield. He's got Stack, Caicedo, and Rice. So he's got like 3 defensive-minded midfielders, and he's number 1 in the world. Mad. Tuna says, happy Friday. Bench 1 out of João Pedro, Tarkowski and Anderson. I would go Anderson out of those 3. João Pedro is a weird one. I don't remember the last time this happened. Or it hasn't happened yet. But the Brazil said we're not calling him up because he's got a minor injury. But the day before that, he played in the Champions League. The night before. And I think he's going to start against Liverpool. So I think reading between the lines, what they're actually saying is Chelsea is saying like he does have a minor thing going on. But we also don't want to risk him getting caught up and getting injured because they've got Delap out already and he clearly doesn't trust you. So I think João Pedro is fine. But yeah, all these little things like him, Gabriel. I mean, has anyone seen them? Potentially like the Leeds versus Tottenham game could be at risk as well because of severe weather. It's just all these little things is making me think I'll just delay it until Gameweek 8, the bench boost. So that's where I'm at with that. I mean, only FPL has you looking up like weather forecasts and this stuff and weather warnings, and it's like amber alert in the northwest of England for this game week, and they've apparently got some like precautions and things in place in case they need to call the game off. Obviously they'll do the usual checks. I think the game will go ahead. I need to caveat that. I don't want to fearmonger. I'm just trying to be realistic about if I should take these risks on in combination on the bench boost, if that makes sense. Sonia Lump, good evening, Oscar. Wishing you a game. Love you, he says. Akshaya says, hey, would you triple captain Haaland any upcoming double game weeks? I mean, to be fair, if Leeds versus Spurs gets postponed, that'll be a double game week, but I don't think I'd use... I mean, is there anyone you would triple captain, guys, from Leeds or Tottenham if they got a double? Or would you use it on Haaland in a single? Haaland's got Leeds home coming up still in like 7 game weeks or something, so that's where I'm looking to use it. No double game weeks expected first half of the season. Mr. Focal's confirming the Leeds match is cancelled. Honestly, I was just reading like articles before going live, and was it this one here? Oh, you know what? I need to actually start using my proper animations. They've got like contingency plans. That was it. They've got all these plans in place in case they need to. This is from motleadsnews.com. So this article just goes on about potential measurements they're going to take, contingency plans, if the weather is severe. So anyway, I was reading that and I was thinking, what am I doing with my life? But hey, it's important. I've got to sit here and live stream FPL, and I've got to try and do well with my FPL team. I can't get complacent. Per Hansen says he had Van de Ven's 14-pointer blocked by Cucurella in Game Week 4, and then Gabriel's in Game Week 6, both were first on the bench. And he's asking, do I start Tarkowski over Van de Ven this week, or is Isak the better first bench? I'll definitely start Tarkowski. You can't be benching Tarkowski, especially in a home game. Not a bad home game. Palace played in Europe as well midweek, or a Thursday. Start Tarkowski. I wouldn't be benching Isak. If he's spending that much on Isak, you've got to start him every game. Yeah, so people are asking about Gabriel. Let's talk about Gabriel, because I know some of you got him, some are thinking about buying him. Arteta was asked, and he said, We're going to have to wait and see after training, but we weren't too concerned about him. So, usual like Arteta answer, we're going to see after training, but he did add there, we weren't too concerned about him. And I think he's referring to the Champions League. Because in the Champions League, he went off in the second half, and I thought it was because it was after Raya landed on him, but apparently Arteta was saying he might have got a kick in the first half. He said the following after that game, I think he's going to be okay. He felt something. I think it was a kick in the first half. He could carry on, but we decided not to take any risks because he's played a lot of games. He's coming from a long-term injury and we need to look after him. What did I write down here? The journalist also asked if he's still not concerned like he was on Wednesday night. So I think they were kind of double-checking if anything's changed since then when he last said that. And yeah, he said yeah. So not concerned. Does he start? Let's do a poll based on that information. And then I'll say what I think after. Because I don't want to influence the poll either. Which I've become aware happens a lot when I say something. Got too much power here. So yeah, let's see what you guys vote first. Yes or no. Does Gabriel start this game week? And it's what you think is going to happen, not what you want to happen. Because I know a lot of you have got him and you want him to. M says, if he says he's not concerned, you should be very concerned. Yeah, I mean, Arteta is very hard to read as well. That's the thing. We've lost... I think Arsenal have lost the last 2 games home to West Ham, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's true. And I think Arteta was even asked about that, actually. And I don't know, that could be at the back of his head. But I also think... And now I am going to tell you what I think. The fact that he's taken him off, I think nods towards a potential start. There is Mascara that could play in left centre back, but I think he's right footed. Calafiori can play there. I don't see that. So I think the early sub was perhaps a hint. He's such a crucial player. Like I mean, look at last game week. So I think he does start. 75% have voted yes, or 74. 26% say no. British says he starts. Let's keep going with the questions. I never know how to say a name. Nimleb. But you got the capital B, so is it Nimleb B? Yeah, he says, hi Oscar in chat. Do I start João Pedro or Burn? Oh, that's a good question, because when you look at the fixtures as well, I saw Murillo's potentially out for Forest as well. So, João Pedro or Burn? I think how you approach this is, like, João Pedro is extremely highly owned, like frighteningly high owned. Like, if he goes and smashes against Liverpool, that's a killer. If you don't care about that sort of thing, I think Burn is the slightly better pick, but it's close, if that makes sense. Like, some people are willing to just sacrifice some points potential to protect themselves. Do any of you guys play like that sometimes? I guess a lot of people have just got João Pedro for that reason, because he's highly owned. Some people might not actually truly believe in him as an FPL asset. I mean, they've had some red cards, but he's not done much in a while, has he? So it depends on what kind of FPL manager you are, because if you start Burn, he keeps a clean sheet, maybe you get lucky, he scores, and João Pedro blanks. The upside is massive there. So I think you have to make a call on that. In my opinion, Burn is slightly better. Some of you guys do that as well. We've got Pokemaster in the chat, says I'm going to win FPL this season. I hope you do, and then we can do a video together if you're interested. Dean says bench boost, fuck it. Fair play, good luck with the bench boost. You think João Pedro suits this game, but I'd play Burn. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well with that one. Right, let's keep going. Where did I get to? Alfred says he's got Raya, Van de Ven, Timber, Senesi, Foden, Enzo, Semenyo, João Pedro, Haaland, Gyökeres. He says, add Guehi, Paqueta or Sarr this week. Cheers for the great content. Do you mean add them to your starting 11? I think you've got it right here. I don't think I'd change that. No. And I'd say your bench is in the right order as well. No, I wouldn't change anything, Alfred. Looks good. I actually think Timber's really being slept on. It's just a gamble, isn't it? Does he keep starting every game? If he does, I think he's even better than Gabriel, honestly. And he's like 0.4 mil cheaper. No, I mean, I might change my mind during the stream, but for those asking about the bench boost, I've deactivated it for a few reasons that I mentioned earlier. The yellow 75% is never accurate in FPL he'll play. Yeah, I mean, they have to just do the flags based on what the managers say. Like, they don't really choose. They have to just go off whatever the managers say in the presses, and it's just that little bit of uncertainty on Gabriel, I guess, is why they've flagged him. Treble says, evening, fun with Doku or safe with Minte on the wild card. I would rather go Minte, honestly. But I love picking players that are good for minutes. It just, in my experience, more often than not, it catches up with you if you're picking players that are ropey for minutes. And Doku's one of those. Like, he's really explosive when he's starting, but I think he's been benched twice already this season. I know he's also got a couple of double-digit returns, but that's kind of the gist of it, isn't it? Like, those weeks where you get it right are great, but the next week he could come on in the last 5 minutes and get you a one-pointer. And it's all about the average scores ultimately, not the highest scores that they get you. So I prefer Minte. Chris, how we doing? He says, Indai is a good pick. Is he a good pick really? You fancy the Newcastle mids? Yeah, you know what? Gordon took... Oh my god, Tim's just gifted 50 memberships to the stream. Oh my god, Tim! Oh my days. Make sure you say spam something in the chat so you get one of the gifted memberships, because they get given out to whoever's active in the chat. Tim, oh my days. How's your team looking this week, Tim? Have you decided what you're doing? Bench boost or no? Wow, Tim, thank you so much. That's really generous of you. Appreciate you. What a legend. I've forgotten what I was saying before that. It was Chris was asking about Ndai and the Newcastle mids. Well, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sorry. Yeah, Gordon, I think he took 2 penalties in the Champions League, didn't he, the other day? So that's interesting. Voltamado's on the pitch as well. Gordon's on pens from Newcastle. So, yeah, I think he massively shoots up in terms of my opinions. But he is like, what is he, 0.9 million more than Ndai? If you got the money, Gordon over Ndai, yeah. Isn't Ndai a good pick? Well, last week he made a bit more sense because he had a home fixture against West Ham, but he still blanked. I would say not so much now. I'd rather go Enzo or Sarr if I was buying this week. This is such a template week. I mean, the differentiator would have been the bench boost, but I've gone a bit cold on it, if I'm honest. So I've deactivated it. Luke says, thoughts on Xhaka as a long-term pick? I prefer Stack, but I like Xhaka as well. He's ticking along, isn't he? He is ticking along. I prefer Stack, but both are great. Yeah, I've been really impressed by Sunderland, and obviously Xhaka is just absolute class. I can't believe Sunderland managed to sign him. What a sign him. Like, he could single-handedly keep them up. I mean, obviously it's a team sport, but like his leadership, his experience, it's just such an unbelievable signing for Sunderland. But FPL points is what matters with what we're talking about right now, and I think potentially Stack could be slightly better long term, but both are great. Mad says bench boost Mukiele, João Pedro, Van de Ven, and Dubravka. You're starting Burnen and Dye. Ooh, I think I would. I think that, yeah, that's a better bench than mine. I think I would. I mean, João Pedro, like, really, for me, I don't know if you guys agree with this. I just want one return from my bench in a single Gameweek bench boost, and I'm happy. How many points would you guys be happy with if you bench boosted? What's the minimum where you're going to say, I'm happy with that, I'll take that? I want one return, but so I guess if I was going to say points-wise, 13 or more? Is that lowball? Oh, people are saying 10. Okay. Maybe 10. Yeah, it's overrated. Like, people that, you know, if you're saying 25 or something, like, it's way too much. It's a really overrated chip because your bench is generally super weak as well. But yeah, with that, like, if you're benching João Pedro, like Van de Ven as well. Let's go to the team odds a sec. Yeah, like 27% clean sheet odds. I definitely would be bench boosting that. Mukiele and Dubravka are a bit ropey, but I just think that's good enough to bench boost personally. It's João Pedro in particular. Like, I feel like Liverpool can be got at much more than they could last season personally. So yeah, I would bench boost that. Tim, thanks again. There's his message. 50 gifted membership. Did he say anything in the chat? Oh, I can't even do a control F because it's just 50 times name was received a gifted membership by Tim. I've got Discord open, Tim. What are you saying? Yeah, are you bench boosting? Tim's bench was Dubravka, Stack, Rodon and Anderson. So really similar to me. He's a Leeds fan, so he's doubled Leeds. Weather warning for that Leeds game. I think the game goes ahead, but there's all these little things that put me off the bench boost myself. Is Strand Larsen expected to play? Pereira said he's not 100%. That's all we've been told, which I know is not great. It's kind of incomplete info. Touch and go. Bench 1 out of João Pedro, Kudus, Richarlison, Reinders and Semenyo. Out of all of these, I think it'd be João Pedro against Liverpool, just about. It's João Pedro or Reinders, I would say here. I think it's João Pedro against Liverpool and he's potentially not 100% is what I would do. Yeah, bench João Pedro. Tim says, I'm scared now about the bench boost. What it was for me, Tim, is I've got Gabriel who's flagged. I think he probably does play. But that would be 3 games in a week, of course. And obviously he can do that. And then it's João Pedro as well. Not in the Brazil squad. But I think he does start again. And then there's like this weather warning for the Leeds versus Spurs game. All these little things just put me off a bit. And I'm going to just think about it during the stream. Because I'm not 100%. But right now I've got it deactivated. And I'm thinking Game Week 8 now. And Game Week 8 does look quite nice for my setup. I'll show you. I made a graphic actually. Just to show you. So the Game Week 7 bench boost would be this top one. Where I'd roll. Dubravka, Stack, Anderson, Mukiele. That's what you just saw. Game Week 8, if I was to roll, it's Dubravka, but he's got Leeds home. I've got Ndiaye away at City, not great. Mukiele home to Wolves, brilliant. Anderson, Arsenal home, not great. But I could do Ndiaye to Enzo. And in that scenario, Stack drops to the bench. And he's got Burnley, which is great as well. I know it's like Dubravka versus Stack. Stack versus Dubravka. It's never going to be perfect. And I just want to get this chip out of the way, if I'm honest with you, because the bench boost is... I used to always nail the bench boost, but it's done my head in the last couple of years. So that's where I'm at. I'm thinking maybe Game Week 8 now. I'll pivot to that. That bottom one, I think, is a pretty solid bench boost, considering how cheap it is. Like, if Dubravka keeps the clean sheet, fine. If Stack gets something from that, I'm happy with that. Mukiele should have good odds. Home to Wolves as well. I mean, to be fair, actually... Senesi has... What's he got? Is it Palace after the break? Arguably, he'd bench Senesi. So I'd be bench boosting Senesi, I think, over Mukiele. In Game Week 8. Pokemaster says just activate it. Ben Krellin's bench boosted. Is he? I don't know what his bench is, though. Is he on a different bench setup to me? I'm guessing... I haven't seen his team. There's a top all-time managers widget on the site. We can actually have a look here. Obviously, Tom Dollymor's the #1 all-time, and he's doing the videos on the channel. But there's some unbelievable managers in this widget. That's Tom's team. Sorry, well, Ben's. Where's Ben? I find it quite interesting to look at what the top all-timers are doing. So here, his bench will be Lacroix, Anderson, Stack, and Dubravka. So, yeah, he's got Stack. So he's got Lacroix where I've got Mukiele. So that makes sense. I would do that as well if I was him. Mine isn't as strong as that. My bench isn't as strong as that. I've got Mukiele where he's got Lacroix. And he's got Lacroix against Everton. So I would 100% bench boost his bench, yeah. It's a different setup. I think he didn't go João Pedro, he didn't go Semenyo. Is that right? So he had the money to spread around in defence a bit more. So it's just a different setup, basically. I didn't want to go without João Pedro or Semenyo on the wild card. But I mean, he's one of the GOATs, so like maybe he was right to go without both of those. Semenyo did score the free kick, João Pedro blank, so anyway, where did I get to? Amar with the 24 months, 2 years. Thank you very much, Amar, for the 24 months. He says, hi, Focal. -4, Kudus to Saka or Van de Ven / Concert to Gabriel. I don't think I'd sell Kudus for a -4 before Leeds. I don't like that. If you can do like Van de Ven to Gabriel for free, I would consider it, but I probably wouldn't even do it then just because of the flag. I think I'd probably just do that move in Game Week 8 after the break. You reckon Gabriel will play? Yes, 77% now have said he will, so I'll end that poll. How we doing, Tony? Let's crack open this water. Didn't even have time to have dinner before the stream. Don't think I'll do like a eat with me stream. Any of you guys watch those kind of videos? I do watch Beard Meets Food. He goes around the world doing food challenges. He's quite like an entertaining, humble guy. I do enjoy watching those because he does some ridiculous challenges, but he's just so good. I'm not eating during the stream, surely not. I'll have it straight after. Yash asks, Anthony, that's Burnley's Anthony. Did that need clarifying? It's not going to be Man United's Anthony. Gordon or Sarr in, help to choose one. I'd be tempted to take a chance on Gordon, you know. Like, they've got Forest, who first of all are on a shocking run. They haven't won yet under Postecoglou. How many games is it? Like 7 or 8? You guys watch Beard as well? Yeah, his videos are so good. 5 stars. So I would be tempted by Gordon, you know. Like the fact that he took 2 penalties as well last match. He massively goes up in my rankings now that he's taken penalties, so out of Anthony, Gordon and Sarr, I know he's the most expensive, but I would say Gordon. How we doing, Lucas? Joshua asks, thoughts on Mamardashvili? Yeah, interesting one, because of Alisson's out for a while. I can't remember exactly how long. It could be something like 5-6 game weeks in FPL terms. And he's 4.3 million. I just think you buy a keeper, it needs to be for the very long term. So I just don't think he's worth it. Unless you were looking to wildcard in like 5 game weeks time, maybe. But are the fixtures even that good? Oh, sorry for the... Just trying to find the fixture ticker tool here. What's Liverpool's fixture run like? Let's go to that. I mean, they're bottom of the ticker. What's the point, really? Come on. Chelsea away, Man United home, Brentford, Villa, Man City. Nah, I just don't see it. It's just not even a nice run. They're literally bottom of the ticker on the app. Like, if they had Arsenal's run, I'd be thinking that's really an interesting pick, and I might buy him, you know, in Game Week 8 and bench boost Mamardashvili. But I just look at that run, I think, not for me. And then after that run ends, that's like when Alisson could be back. So, he's a great keeper as well. Like, admittedly, I haven't watched loads of him, but I know he's got a really he's really highly rated, like a very capable backup, and he's one for the future when Alisson calls it a day, whenever that is. But yeah, just not for me. How we doing, Chris? Good to see you, mate. British says Roofs. Which keeper have you all got? Is everyone on Raya? Pope? Petrovic? Will says, can I DM a pick of my team? Not sure what to do. The best thing to do, Will, is to put it in the chat messages. I used to do like the DMs and stuff in Discord, but it ended up getting really messy. Like finding the photos and pulling it up on the stream. So yeah, apologies, I'm not much help there, but the best thing to do is put it in the actual message. Just to try and keep the stream like as engaging as possible for all the viewers as well. Because if I'm like hopping around trying to find DMs and stuff, I just think if I'm someone else that's just watching, I'm like, it's kind of boring. But when it's in the message, I can answer it straight away. So like the next question, for example, Liam says, on a wildcard, Saka and Voltemada or Gyökeres and Gordon? I would go Gyökeres Gordon. It's pretty close, and I saw this has had a setback as well, so Voltemada should be safe for a while longer at least. It is a really close one, this. And I'll tell you, I was saying as well about players playing 3 times in 7 days, because I think they had the Sunday... Was it the Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday turnaround? It's like the worst possible turnaround that a team can have. But I think Gyökeres has to start. I really hope he does. I don't want Arteta to mess around with Trossard, false 9 and all this stuff, and like Marino. But yeah, he's going to be playing for Sweden as well over the break. He's playing a lot. But I would say Gyökeres and Gordon are like more, and you've got the penalty takers there as well. Is your bench strong enough for a bench boost? Well, this is the ultimate question. I'm going back and forth on this. Dubravka away at Villa, I just can't really see a clean sheet. But who knows? Villa have been shocking, haven't they? Stack home to Spurs. Don't mind that. Anderson against Bournemouth, you never know. Mukiele against Man United. Not great, but Sunderland have been really good. United haven't, so... Dr. Yazan, how are we doing? Thanks for the 10 months. He says, hey bro, I've got the same team, but I've got Caicedo instead of Stack. Why not Sar/Enzo instead of Ndai? Why not Saka Foden instead of Bruno? Yeah, if I was wildcarding this week, I would have Enzo or Sar over Ndai. It's just last week it was before 2 home games, so that's why I had him. I might sell him in Game Week 8. Saka, Foden, Bruno's close. Like, none of them did anything last game week. Well, Bruno missed a penalty if you count that. I just like Bruno. I think he's just got so many routes to points. I know I'm repeating myself and I say this in videos, but it's true with Bruno. And people are looking at the outcomes rather than... like, he missed 2 penalties. That's really unlucky. How often does that happen? Not often. If he buries those 2 pens, like only Semenyo's on more points this season among mids. So it's just one of those, isn't it? It's just unlucky, I think, that he's underperformed. And obviously he's got like the free kicks, the corners, and also he's really good for DEFCON, so he's just a complete FPL player. No music, can you not hear it? I'll turn it up a bit. Maybe I can restart. Is that not coming through? You tell me if that's coming through or not, or if it's too loud. How about that? Too loud? Matt says, I've just popped my juicy wildcard. Do you prefer Foden or Gordon? Or... That's perfect. Okay. What's for dinner? I've got like rice, peppers and potatoes. I'm down to like scraps. Me and Miss Focal are going away on holiday on Monday, so we're trying to avoid a food shop, but it's pretty desperate dinners right now. Matt says he's popped the juicy wildcard. Foden or Gordon? It's a close one, but I'd say Gordon now. If it was last week, Foden, because he had the Burnley home fixture, but obviously he blanked. But all Reinders an upgrade the 4 million defender to Burm. Like the stream, guys, he says. Hashtag using all my characters. I think it's fine to have a 4 mil defender, because this season, the 4 mil defenders are the best I can remember in many, many years. Many years since I remember having so many good 4 mil defenders. I'm trying to think the last time we had so many good ones. It's not as far back as Lundstrom, and he was like a real exception, but it does feel like a long time since we've been this spoilt for choice. Like, you've got Rodon Gudmundsson from Leeds. You've got Mukiele Alderete from Sunderland. You've got Esteve Burnley. I guess he's not that great, but there's a lot of options. So I would have one on a wild card. I'd say Gordon. Yeah, I'd take the chance on Gordon. The fixture run's pretty nice and he's on pens. Kano, thanks for the 18 months. He says, hi Oscar, I'm on the way to the airport and need your help. Well, what can I do with that information? What do you mean you need my help, Kano? Where are you off to? What do you need help with? Do you need help with like your bag, like packing for the flight or your FPL team? Do you need directions to the airport? Zaina says, I might start Dubravka just out of spite against Watkins. I think some people are this week. I think some people are. Any of you guys starting Dubravka this week? Maybe not out of spite of Watkins, but maybe out of having a a second keeper that's just got a potentially weaker fixture. Like if I had Sells and Dubravka, I'm probably playing Dubravka. If I've got Sanchez Dubravka, probably Dubravka. Yeah, Squid Productions, Sanchez. You got Donnarumma, nice. Starting Pope, yeah, Pope set and forget. Jeffrey says, hey Oscar, I need your opinion on a dilemma. Start 3, bench 2. Munoz, Richards, Van der Ven, Xavi, João Pedro. So you start Munoz. I'd start Van der Ven. Third one's real tricky. I'd start Xavi as well. I can't remember if Xavi started in the Champions League, did he? I forget. I think I'd take the chance on Xavi, given that he's got leads. Xavi, Van der Ven, Munoz. So João Pedro first on the... Oh, João Pedro for Van der Ven? That feels a bit wrong. No, I'd start João Pedro with Van der Ven. Really close, that one, but I would just about start João Pedro. So João Pedro, Munoz, and Xavi, basically. Cleve says, João Pedro, Rodgers and Diane Watkins, bench 1. I mean, Watkins and Rodgers home to Burnley, as bad as they've been, surely one more week you've got to start Watkins and Rodgers together for that fixture. So it's João Pedro versus Ndiaye. Ndiaye's home to Palace. I think I'd bench João Pedro out of those 4. Or the rating never gets less than 3 points. You know what's interesting? We just added presets, this new feature called presets here, and these are basically ones that I've made that you can just use ready loaded. So on the statistics page on the app and website, you go load preset, and we've got one called 4+ point hit rate, and it basically measures the number of times that players hit 4 or more points, so you can find the really consistent performers. So Livramento and Mukiele, the only ones that have got 100% hit rate, 4+ points. Obviously Livramento's injured, but it's quite interesting, isn't it? Like Semenyo, 83%, Caicedo, there's quite a few others there, Haaland, Richards. I think that's like all but one game for them. So yeah, that's on the Focal app, a new feature, statistics page. And by the way, I'm giving away free memberships to everyone. I'm just doing it for this game week, and it will last you an entire month. So if you want to claim it, the link is in the description. I remember to put it there before we went live, but I'll put it in the chat as well if you want to redeem it. And you can cancel as well, like if you decide you don't want to have it after the 1 month. But you get all the premium features, so it's that. And it's in the description as well if you want to claim it. And that gets you free premium, all the premium features on the widgets, hides the ads, customize the layout, the theme, articles written by me. And if you don't want to keep it after a month, just cancel it, completely free. So yeah, check that out, because that's the first time I've done something like that. Obviously I do the giveaways where it's like 3 or 4 or 5 people every stream get the whole season, but that's everyone can have that right now. So yeah, check it out. 290,000 people use the website, so even if you only use the free version, check it out. It's a good FPL resource. Top 5 best FPL captaincy. It's got that as well. Let's see what it's saying this week. Haaland, Bruno, and Gyökeres all 5 stars this week. Saka's on 3 stars, and so is Salah. I feel like Haaland's going to be by far the most popular, but that's interesting that it's got Bruno and Gyökeres also on 5. I can't bring myself to captain Bruno. I know he's got Sunderland home, but... And Gyökeres as well, home to West Ham after playing Sunday, Wednesday. Not for me. I can see it potentially working out, but not for me. Anyway, I'll put the link in the description. It's just fpl.page/redeem/free if you want to claim the free membership. It was Goran next who says, 1 free transfer, Eze or Saka, or free hit and get both. I mean, if you can get either, absolutely Saka. He's miles better than Eze as an FPL asset, but he's way more expensive, so there is that. But yeah, if you can get to Saka, do that. Free hit's hard to say because it depends on your team, how it is now before the free hit, obviously. Like if you've got so many issues spread around your team, then that's a potential free hit opportunity. But obviously that also means potential wildcard opportunity. Are you using the bench boost? I'm still deciding. Right now I've deactivated it. I don't think I will now. I think I'll use it in Game Week 8 instead. And just hope to get through the international break unscathed. Let's do a poll on the chips. So we'll say, if you're using a chip, which is it? And then I'll put all 4 chips. So if you haven't got one active, don't vote on this poll. Bench boost, triple captain, keyboard ASMR, free hit, and wildcard. Poll is up. If you're not using a chip, sit this one out. There'll be another poll in a minute. But if you are using a chip, let us know on the poll. Paredes, thanks for the 10 months. Says bench one of João Pedro and Diane Reinders. I'd say João Pedro against Liverpool just about, but it's very close. Very, very close this week. Yeah, I'd start the other two and Diane Reinders. Kano says, got the same team, but Tarkowski and Donnarumma for Gabriel Vardiol. You panicked yesterday and moved Pedro and Ndai for Saka and Foster. Who should I start and bench? Well, you bench Foster when he's got Villa away. Is that what you mean? Which one player? Yeah, just bench Foster. Simple as that. I don't know the rest of your team though, but did I? Hang on. What did that say about missing a super chat from Treble? I did do it, Treble. Let me find it again. It was it not the Mintane Doku? Oh, sorry, there was another one there. Isaac, Timber, or Gyökeres, Vardiol on the wild card. I wouldn't go Isaac on a wild card. Timber or Gyökeres, I'd go Gyökeres. Vardiol, yeah, I still think Vardiol's okay. I still think he'll be alright long term. The Burnley fixture's gone, which makes him slightly less appealing, but I still like Vardiol. If I was wildcarding, it'd be this team, but the only potential changes now would be Enzo over Ndai, and maybe Tarkowski over Vardiol. But it's the same thing with Tarkowski, like you've missed one of the home games, and again he didn't get anything to be fair, nor did Vardiol. Yeah, I like Timber, but can we be confident he starts every single game? That's the gamble you take of him. If he does start every game, I think he's better than Gabriel. I think a Timber that starts every single league game is potentially the best defender in the game. But I don't know if I can count on him for that, which is why I went Gabriel. To be fair, last game it went great, but Timber is just, yeah, much more goal threat. Absolutely quality defender. Very underrated. But yeah, I would go Gyökeres. I wouldn't go Isaac. Vardiol's still fine. Yeah, sorry I missed that. Where did I get to? Was Paredes says, I only own Gabriel from Arsenal. Your wildcard in Game Week 8. What about Ødegaard as a punt? What are your thoughts? Verts to Ødegaard -4 would allow me the extra funds to upgrade Reinildo to Senesi. Who to bench though, and die Ryan to João Pedro. I wouldn't take a -4 before a wildcard. I would just do like Verts to Gordon or something like that. He's got Forest, he's on pens. Oh, sorry, he's saying, yeah. I wouldn't sell Verts for a -4, I don't think. I don't think I would do that. I know Verts has been shocking, but does Ødegaard definitely outscore him by 4 points? Yeah, I don't think I'd take that hit, let alone before a wildcard. I hate -4s in general, let alone before a wildcard where you've got 1 week for that to be repaid. Like, if I'm taking a -4, generally I'm looking at the next, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 weeks for it where it could potentially be repaid. Obviously, the hope is always that very next game week, but it often doesn't happen in FPL. As much as we think, oh yeah, I'll do this and then he'll score and then it's all good, but it doesn't tend to go that way in FPL. So I wouldn't take the hit. Conrad says triple captain Haaland. I don't hate it, just given his current form. Like, he's just looking ridiculous. What's he on right now? Like, how many goals is he on this season? 18 or something in all comps. But I'm going to save it for Leeds home, I think. I forget which week that is, but I think on paper that's better. Game week 13, he's got Leeds home. He does have Sunderland home, game week 15 as well, but that's worse, I would say. But yeah, I don't hate it against Brentford. Unknown Guy says 2k and 282 likes. Come on, people. Shout out to the Unknown Guy. No one knows who he is, but he's here advocating likes on the stream. Thank you, Unknown Guy. Mo Fahad says 321 points is a bad start to the year. It's not great. It's not great. But what I will say, Mo, and I don't expect to replicate this, but what I will say is this time last season, I was 2.7 mil. So almost the same rank. And I ended up, I think I finished 3.4k. And that was from 2.7 mil in this exact stage. So anything's possible. I don't know if I'll be able to do anything as good as that run again, but I mean, I'll certainly give it a go. But yeah, it's obviously not a great start. I'd love to be top 100k, but it's been a really unpredictable season as well. Like, it's not like I'm sitting here complacent, like, oh, whatever, that team will do. Like, I'm really, like, giving it a lot of thought every week, and it's just been really unpredictable. I don't know if you guys have found the same. I know some of you are, like, smashing it already. I know some of you are in the millions. It's very spread out, isn't it? But, yeah, it's been an unpredictable start to the season, but nothing's impossible. Finlay says, I'd love, would you be more likely to bench boost if you had Xhaka over Stack and Gudmundsson over Mukiele? I kind of want to get out of the way. I'd say that's about the same. Xhaka, nah, I think it's the same thing there. It's also not just the bench, it's also the uncertainty on Gabriel, João Pedro and the Leeds versus Tottenham game. I think what probably happens is Gabriel plays, João Pedro plays and Leeds versus Tottenham goes ahead. But if any of those don't happen, then it could massively make the chip a complete waste. And I also factor in my starting 11 when I'm bench boosting, because your bench boost is your entire 15. I know you use it for your bench specifically, but like if I use the bench boost and 3 of my starting 11 are out, then I don't have a bench. It's just a keeper. So that's where I'm at. I'm still going to think about it over the stream, but I'm thinking game week 8 now. Is Grealish to Ndai worth it, or is that sideways? No, I probably wouldn't do that this week. That's pretty sideways. I mean, you could do something in game week 8, but you might find there's something better, like Ndai to Enzo or Sarr or Gordon. I definitely wouldn't do that. It's too sideways. Mark says, sorry I'm late. He's got Sanchez, Dubravka, Gabriel, Cucurella, Porro, Stev, Lacroix, Semenya, Bruno, and Dai Reinders, Sarr, Gyökeres, Haaland, Gu. 2 transfers, 1.5 mil. So you're on how many Arsenal? 1, 2, 2. Your defence, Gabriel, Cucurella, Porro, Stev, Lacroix. So you play Gabriel. I'll probably play Porro and just hope he starts. Probably does, but he was benched last week after Europe. And play Lacroix. Semenya, Bruno, and Dai Reinders, Sarr, Gyökeres, Haaland. I would go Sanchez to Raya and roll the second transfer if I were you. That's what I would do, Mark. Is Saliba going to play 90 mins or 45? I think he'll start this one, Saliba. How'd you get the gifted memberships? It just gives them out randomly when someone gifts. Like Tim gifted 50 earlier. Yeah, the bench boost is deactivated for those asking right now. Treble says, I'm thinking about going Enzo bench and start Isidore against Man United for the meme on a wild card. I wouldn't meme on a wild card personally. I think Enzo's better than Isidore against United personally. But it's quite close, but I think I prefer Enzo. But tomorrow, Oscar asks FPL Fella. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I actually got the graphic here. If anyone's in London tomorrow, or lives there or whatever, I'm going to be here tomorrow at the Thirsty Bear in London. I'll be there from the 12:30 game onwards. So, yeah, if anyone's in the area, come along. I'll be there all day. I'll get you a beer. And I'll stay for the games all day. Obviously, the 3 o'clocks aren't on TV, but I'm sure someone's going to have it on their phone somehow. So, yeah, Thirsty Bear tomorrow. I'll be there from about 12:30. Look forward to seeing you, Dan. FPL1 says, on wildcard, Richarlison and Bumo and Sarr, or Voltemada, Bumo and Anthony / Caicedo, or Voltemada, Sarr and Enzo. You've got 21.4 mil for the 3 spots. The last combination I like the most. Yeah, I like the last one the most. Sarr and Enzo with Voltemada. Who are your other strikers? If I was on a wildcard, I would have Haaland, Gyökeres, and then the third forward is up for debate. Voltemada could be nice. But for me, Haaland and Gyökeres would be non-negotiables. I don't know if you've got those. But yeah, I like the third combination the most there. I mean, Mbumo's been really unlucky, actually, to not have more returns. His underlying numbers have been great. And Amrim's just not been getting the best out of him. And that's on Amrim. If they can get the best out of Mbumo, I think they'll really click soon. But who knows with Amrim. I mean, what is going on with Man United? Like, how long is Amrim going to last? There was some rumour that the payout, if they sack him, goes down like in November. I don't know if that's true, but maybe that's why he's still around. Because it's just, everyone can see it, but the board is still hanging on to him. So I just don't get it. Foden snubbed by Tuchel. He's going to prove his worth come Sunday. Interesting on that, wasn't it? Bellingham as well, also not called up. I mean, Tuchel had his reasons. He was saying like Bellingham's only started 1 game, I think, this season. He's just coming back to get his fitness back or something. I don't know why I was listening to the presser, but I was waiting for Arteta's presser. That was why. And then I was like, oh, I'll listen to this while I wait. And then he sort of said like there was just a lot of like cohesion and good atmosphere, so he used the same sort of squad as last time, barring the injuries. But yeah, I think it's also that he's sort of saying you can prove yourself before you come back in my team and deliver for England. Because yeah, I can't imagine a world where Foden and Bellingham aren't in the actual England World Cup squad. But yeah, for now, why not? Give other people, peripheral players, their chance. Jared says, would you do Sanchez to Raya, Steph to Van Heck or Roll? And the bench boost of Sanchez / Raya, João Pedro Porro and Esteve Van Heck. Would you think that's worth it? Wildcard in Gameweek 8. So your bench boosting. Have you looked at bench boost 9 instead? That could be an option. If you're going to wildcard an 8. You could save a couple of transfers there. Like if you've got Sanchez on your bench already, is it worth a transfer just to bench boost Raya? Or do bench boost and save transfers in Game Week 9? I wouldn't do a Stev to Van Heck, I don't think, for the sake of a bench boost before wildcard. And I don't like that. If you're going to do it, I'll do the Raya move and not a Stev. But if you need to do one to afford the other, I would actually just consider bench boost Game Week 9 if I were you. Oh, damn, with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, FPL Fella. Appreciate you. Who got those? Paul got one, Samir got one, Suji got one, Yasin, and Objectives Matt got one as well. Good to see Matt got one. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, mate, and sharing a beer while we watch the games. And hopefully Gabriel and Gyökeres start. I don't know if you've got them in your team, but God, I hope they start. So 51%, this is just those that are bench using a chip. 51% bench boost, 13% triple captain, 9% free hit, 27% wildcard. Who will replace Alisson? Mamadashvili. You've got Saka, Gabriel and Raya. Oh, and you're a West Ham fan. What do you mean you hope they blank? What would you guys rather? The team you support wins the league or you win FPL? We'll poll it. Your team wins the league. I know you're not all fans of Prem teams necessarily. I know most of you are. So whatever league the team is you support, would you rather they won their league? So if you're an Arsenal fan like me, would you rather Arsenal won the league or you win FPL? Win FPL in it, win the Prem obviously, win FPL. Bear with me, C-Mac. Yeah, I need to keep going here. We'll come back to that poll. Joe, thanks for the 27 months. Thoughts on Gakpo to Enzo, Bruno to Saka, -4. For a -4, no. I don't think I'd do that. I know Bruno's been disappointed, but he's missed a couple of pens. He's got Sunderland home. Ollie's not having it. Ollie says you're a bunch of plastics. Win FPL, to be honest, they don't care about me. You'd rather Oxford win the championship. We're footy fans. Why is the poll split 50-50? I'm shocked, he says. Only fake fans say FPL. It's more likely that my favourite team wins the league than I win FPL. Well, I think we can all say that pretty much. What are the odds of winning FPL? There's like 12 million managers. Adam says start Porro or Van Dijk or transfer one of them out for Gabriel. Yeah, if you can do Porro to Gabriel, I would consider that. And I know it's really awkward this week with the timing of Gabriel's flag, but I just think Porro is also a risk. So I think I would do the Porro to Gabriel switch. I think Van Dijk's okay to hold on to. So I'd say Porro to Gabriel, Adam, yeah. Daranesh says start to bench one out of Kudus, Richarlison and then die. I mean, Kudus and Richarlison, nothing in them really between them. I would say Richarlison and then die and bench Kudus, but it's not great benching Kudus against Leeds, but that's what I would do. Just got to hope you get it right. C-Max, sorry I got to it late. He says, is it worth transferring Saka in for Salah with one free transfer? I assume you've got Haaland already, C-Mac. Do you? Because that's the priority. I've lost your message. Yeah, Saka in for Salah. I don't know if I would do that. I think it's really close though because of Salah's form. Really, really close one. I can just see Saka doing well against West Ham as well. He got the rest midweek. I think he probably gets like 75 or so minutes. Bruno missed another penalty. What was it like being #1 in the world, Oscar? Oh, I mean, it's going back a few years now. Pretty stressful. I remember like absolutely over-analysing everything I was doing. You got Haaland already? Okay. I don't think I would do it. It's such a close call though, Salah to Saka. I don't think I would do it. Just have a look at reviews top projections. It's got them even as well, so I would say no. Saka on 80 minutes is on 5.7. Salah on 89 is 5.7 as well. It doesn't make sense with a free transfer. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's one of those that just wouldn't surprise me if Saka does well, but never rule Salah out. Gakpo to Gravenberch or Enzo? I prefer Enzo, definitely. EO says Gyökeres does not pass the eye test for me. I don't know. I think you've been a little bit harsh on him. Did you see him in Champions League the other day? absolutely quality to create Martinelli's goal. Two defenders like practically bounced off him and he got the shot off and it almost went straight in. It came back off the post and Martinelli just tapped it in. I think with this upcoming run of games he could still be brilliant. I know he's not done loads of note in terms of output, but I wouldn't rule him out just yet. I'm quite happy to have him actually. Major eye test in the Champions League. Right, we've got 2,200 tuned in, so thank you all for being on this evening stream. I know some of you might be at work still, or I don't know, on your way home from work. Where is everyone right now? Where are you tuned in from? If you're enjoying the stream, do hit like on it, hit subscribe. It's completely free, and I'm here every week streaming for you. Yeah, let me know, where are you guys tuned in from? Is anyone secretly watching the stream at work or something? You're at McDonald's. Give a like, Fpl says, you're home. You're homesick. Get well soon. Work, work, work. In the office in the USA. You're at the gym. Oh, that's quite a good idea, isn't it? To go to the gym and listen to an FPL stream. Something to listen to in the background. Kitchen. In the gym. You're in the gym. The study room. You're in the Maldives. Damn. Working in the backyard at home. Yeah, me and Miss Focal are going to Gran Canaria on Monday. Last minute holiday. It's an international break, so like she has to work around my FPL schedule, which is quite funny. We haven't been on holiday for a long time this year because we moved house in the summer. So we're going to Gran Canaria on Monday for a little break. Because we're booking it so last minute, we can literally just look at the forecast next week and it's really good. So we went for that. You're avoiding the kids in the garage. Brilliant. You're in bed dying, just had the wisdom tooth out. Oof. Ben Foster. Hang on. Different Ben Foster. Have a good holiday. Appreciate that. I'm surprised. Yeah, no one said toilet. There's normally someone on the toilet. Or someone watching a stream in the bath, but not today apparently. Mikey, thanks for the 20 months, and he says he's on the sofa, first beer of the day. Enjoy it. I think I'll have one as well later. Right, let me keep going with the questions. Sorry, I've missed quite a few here. Where did I get to? It was Jolsey who said, mate, would you move off Gakpo with a single transfer? Do you see 70 minutes minimum in him? I think he probably does start. Yeah, I think so. It's not really like Verts did anything of note when he came in at left wing last game week, so I think he does start. But would I move off him? One of those you could probably afford to wait till game week 8, see what happens over the break, and then maybe look at Enzo. Like, if Palmer ends up having surgery, I think Enzo would be ridiculous value for whatever he is, 6'6". Or maybe you go to Sarr, or maybe Gordon. There's a few ways you can go. But I wouldn't buy Enzo this week for Gakpo, I don't think. I probably would leave that one. Oh, I just broke a nail. Got clippers here. Almost threw the nail back in my dinner that I've not finished yet. Right. Yeah, I don't think I would. You could go to Gordon. That's an interesting one, actually. Gakpo to Gordon. Is anyone buying Gordon this week? Scored 2 pens in the Champions League. Gakpo to Gordon's quite interesting if you can afford that. It's just, what if you end up thinking, oh, I wish I'd gone Enzo or Sarr, you know, in game week 8. But Gordon's a really interesting one if I was going to sell Gakpo. I think I'd probably wait till game week 8 and then buy whoever you're most confident in. Chris says, sells Nico for Raya, Gabriel, or both from -4. I guess if I was picking either one, you go sells to Raya first, just because of the Gabriel flag. You are trading off the potential goal threat if Gabriel does start. That's the one thing. But Raya definitely starts, 100%. wouldn't do. I don't think I'd do both from -4 though. I think Nico does probably concede, but you just got to hope you get an attack in return or something off him. Yeah, that's what I would do there. Callum says, start Minte or João Pedro. Is triple captain dumb? I would say the triple captain. I'm going for Leeds home probably when I use mine for Haaland, but it's not terrible this week, but I think there's better weeks later. Minte over João Pedro. Yeah, that's what I would do. Start Minte. Akshaya says, Haaland's got a total of 3.06 expected goals against Brentford across all games. You're thinking about triple captain. What do you think? Yeah, it's just basically other weeks look better. I don't think it's shocking, but I think basically there's just going to be better weeks. Like, I know Sunderland have been great, but I prefer Sunderland home to Brentford away, and I prefer Leeds home, obviously, to Brentford away. So I'm just trying to think longer term of triple captain, so I'm saving mine for that reason. Dimitri says, would you bench boost Dubravka, Munoz, Wilson and Esteve, and you've got Watkins? Feel awkward to bench boost with double Burnley defence. I probably wouldn't bench boost that. It's close because Munoz is great. Wilson's not bad. I think I'd save it, Dimitri. I do think Burnley concede, so you're really counting on Munoz and Wilson here. Close one, but I think saving it might be the play. Jagannath says, prioritise buying Gordon or Saka first. If you can afford either, I think Saka's probably the best differential in the game right now. What's Saka's ownership, guys? Does anyone know? My TV's quite poor. Oh, my team value. It is poor, I know. Yeah, a few players have just killed me. It is what it is. FPL points is what matter, not team value. That's what I've convinced myself as someone with bad team value. He's 7.9%. Yeah, I think he's like best differential right now in terms of his ceiling compared to his ownership. So yeah, if you can buy Gordon or Saka. Hamza says Gabriel Saka for Milenkovic and Salah -4 worth it. From -4, no. Can you not just do Milenkovic to Gabriel? It's one of those. I probably wouldn't for a -4, but if Gabriel starts, it's definitely got potential to be paid off, but I don't think I'd do it for a -4. If you can do Milenkovic to Gabriel, I'll do that for free, but not the -4. And if you can't afford Gabriel with the one move, then you could just go down to like a Senesi type defender or Tarkowski instead. Lil BB says, already have Ryan Calafiori, Van Dijk to Gabriel, triple defence, Chalobah to Timber, Paquetá to Eze, Foden to Saka, João Pedro to Gyökeres, 600k of one transfer. Would you roll? I wouldn't go triple defence, I don't think. I don't hate it, but I don't think I'd go triple Arsenal defence. I think you leave that third spot open. Yeah, leave the third spot open. I just wouldn't want to sell Foden either when he's got a couple more nice games to come. Yeah, I'd leave it. You could sell... Even Chalobah's got nice fixtures after this game week. I'd probably leave it. Because even João Pedro to Gyökeres looks nice, but Chelsea's fixtures are nice after this game week. And I think Gyökeres probably does start, but I'm not even 100% sure of that. I think he does. Because Trossard and Marino also start in the Champions League, and they're like the alternative strikers. But they didn't play last weekend, I don't think. Maybe Trossard did. I like João Pedro to Gyökeres, but I think I'd do nothing in your situation. I won't be selling Van Dijk either. I think the right thing to do here is nothing. Like even Paquetá, I think his fixtures are pretty good after Arsenal. I was going to say Reinders, but I feel like West Ham are probably going to turn it around and we'll see a new manager bounce now. Is anyone looking at West Ham assets like Bowen, Juve, Paquetá? No, I would do nothing, I think, in your situation. Lil Brooke says, Salah and Gw to Saka and Gyökeres -4. That I like. That I like, because you're replacing Gw and you're buying 2 attackers with West Ham home. Yeah, I think that's probably just about worth it. Obviously, it does depend on who you're playing instead of Gw. There is that, I should say. You know, if it's someone that's got a good fixture that you're now having to bench, then I don't think it's as straightforward as that. But those 2 moves are nice. Really behind on chat. Let me keep going here. James says, Gabriel Timber, medium term to wildcard 12, due to be sold. I would go Gabriel just for the assuredness of starts longer term. Timber probably starts, or just, I can't say that with 100% certainty, basically. I'm really hot now. It's well hot in here. Let me open the window. Wait there. Better. I forgot to eat as well, so I'm actually going to have a little bit of this. Sorry. Bear with me. It's actually not bad, even though it's terrible. Apologies for eating. But I've barely eaten. I don't want to pass out during the stream. Yeah, if I was picking between Gabriel and Timber to Gameweek 12. Yeah, it's just for me, it's always about the players that are most reliable for minutes, and Timber isn't necessarily. Timber starts all games, best defender in the game, potentially, but I don't know if he will. So, Gabriel. Mikey, thanks for the 20 months. Sorry, I did that one. It was Bobby for the 24 months. 2 years, thank you, Bobby. He says, #flex, good luck and enjoy the game week, everyone. Appreciate you, Bobby. I think you just unlocked a new focal badge colour as well. If anyone wants to become a member, use the join button below the stream. You get a little badge by your name, which like upgrades every few months to a different colour. And that's the 2-year one, the black focal crest. Urso says, fun fact, only one Man City player scored at Brentford Stadium and it's Foden. Is that true? Was that when he got the hat-trick? Haaland triple captain is wavering, he says, in brackets, me. Good start, that one. Didn't know that. Butter Knight says, who's the best captain option? Salaminte, Timber, Semenyo or Richarlison? Had a poor last game week, so I need a good bump. And any forfeits this season? Out of those, I feel like you'd probably go Salah, but it's tricky, isn't it? Because I know he's been out of form. Actually, after 6 game weeks, this is the fewest points Salah's ever been on at this stage. So there is that. But I think Salah's potentially the best out of that list. But why haven't you got Haaland is my next question. I would be taking a hit. I'd be selling Salah and upgrading a forward to Haaland if I were you, and Captain Haaland. Daniel says, concerned about team value at 101.8 million. Nah, not at all. I mean, it's not great having a rubbish team value, but it's not everything either. You know, like, there's always alternative options. Like, maybe there'll be a game week later on where everyone's going Foden and I have to go Reinders because of team value. Like, that's not bad. Maybe there'll be a game week where everyone's on Gordon for 7.4 and I'm on Enzo or something by then. You know, it's just, there's always alternatives. It's not the end of the world. VS, thanks for the 8 months. Hi Oscar, did you have the bench boost on this week? I joined the stream late. I've deactivated it and I don't think I'm going to reactivate. The reason being, I think Gabriel probably starts, but I just don't like that he's got this flag. I think Gyökeres probably starts as well. João Pedro I think probably does, but again, like, he wasn't called up by Brazil because of a minor injury. And then there's also like Leeds versus Tottenham. is a weather warning. I just don't like all these little doubts. So it's just got me thinking maybe I'll use it in Game Week 8 now. And in Game Week 8, I could do and die to Enzo. And I'd start Enzo. And my bench would be Dubravka home to Leeds, Stack Burnley away, Mukiele Wolves home, and Anderson Arsenal home. That one's not great, I know. But potentially that's better in 8. If I make it through the international break without an issue. And that's the gamble. Not having issues pop up over the break. But I will also have 4 free transfers, so like, I'm pretty flexible coming out of the break. I've never had that many after an international break. Anurag says 4 free transfers. By the way, while I read this one, let me know, who do you think is going to be king of the game week? Old Durate last game week. We need to do the predictions. Who do you reckon it will be this game week? I'm going to go Gordon against Forest. Now that we know he's on pens. Yeah, he's got 4 free transfers, 0.1 million. You just have Richards and Tarkowski instead of Vardy and Mukiele, different from my team. Would you make any transfers? Who would you start? I wouldn't make any transfers. And I'd bench Richards. Start Tarkowski and bench Mukiele. Foden, Dorgu. Rice, Foden. Alright, let's have a quick look over on Twitter. Is there anything we've missed? Seen some bench boosts and some aren't. If I had a better defender than Mukiele as my 3rd defender, like, or as my 3rd on bench player, then I would. But it's just Mukiele against Man United as well. Right, let's keep going. Trucci says Watkins or Gyökeres. Gyökeres, absolutely. Bobby with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Bobby. Appreciate you. Thanks for that. Congrats to those who got one from Bobby. Here for FPL. Thanks for the 5 months as well. Hey, Oscar. Bench 1 of Ndai and Richards. Richards, definitely. Got to start Ndai. He's got home fixture. He's on pens. He might even play as a 10 because of Dewsbury Hall being out. Could be Grealish left, Dibbling right. How we doing, Sonny? Mohit says, I have Dewsbury. Should I start Stack or use a free transfer? No, I'd say just play Stack. Depends how much money you've got and where you can get to, but there's no 5 mils worth going sideways to from Dewsbury Hall when you've got Stack already. So just play Stack. John says, I'm scared to go without Gabriel, but also I like my team and I prefer to roll. It would cost 2 free transfers. Should I roll or bring him in? I have Senesi, Van der Ven and Richards. Using 2 free transfers when he's not even a certainty to start. And I think he probably does. I need to caveat that. I probably wouldn't do it, John. Probably wouldn't spend 2 transfers. You might unlock something better with 3 free transfers as well coming back from the break. I think that's also the sensible play, just to come back from the break with multiple transfers rather than having 1. Interestingly, 50% say you'd rather win FPL, 50% say you'd rather your team won the league. So, couldn't be any more split, that one. Scout selection then. Let us know how many players you've got in your team from the scout selection. They've got Martinez in goal, Gabriel, Burns, Senesi, Bruno, Semenyo, Doku, Minte, Haaland, captain, Gyökeres and Watkins. Stan says half of your line. Which half? So I've got Gabriel, Senesi, Bruno, Semenyo, Haaland and Gyökeres. Why did I count it like that? I did it 6 across. 6 for me. 6, 6, 5, 2, 5, 2. Wow, 7, 3, 5, 6. No, I've got the bench boost deactivated it. For those that are asking. The bench boost is not active. I'll take 6 this week. Welcome to Counting with Oscar. Honestly, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of going 5, 6. Any team news? I don't know if we'll get anything, to be fair, because it's a Friday night deadline. So I'll have a quick look. I don't think we'll get anything in terms of team leaks. There's the team news widget, which is on your left side there, and that's like everything from the pressers. We've got about 2,300 tuned in. Appreciate you all being here. Hope you're having a good Friday evening. And we've got the whole weekend ahead of us, the whole of FPL. Unfortunately, after that, it's an international break, which we don't like. But there's always that good feeling, isn't there, during these deadline streams, like, oh, we've got the game week ahead of us. This is my week. Big green arrows. Could go all right. Semenyo starts. Well, yeah, that we can say with confidence. We don't need a leak for that. Craig says, should I bench boost with Dubravka, Kudus, Anderson and Ekdal? I don't think I would with double Burnley defence. Basically, you're really counting on Kudus for this one. And he could do something against Leeds and then it would be a mistake not to use it. But you've got double Burnley defence and they've got Leeds home in game week 8. So logically, I would save it, Craig. When Dubravka's got Leeds home in game week 8. That looks much better to bench boost than double Burnley defence away at Villa. Do you know what I mean? Can anyone let me know if Saka will be starting? He got arrested in the Champions League, so I would say he will, Jack. I fully expect him to start. I Want Goals says 5. Oh no, I think his stream's 5 minutes behind on the scout selection. Bruno to get a hat-trick. Oh mate, honestly, if he gets a hat-trick, that'll be a season-defining week potentially. Not happening though, is it? I just want him to score a penalty. That's all I'm asking for. Right, who's the most transferred players this week? Most transferred in. Wow, it's 920 or 988,000 have bought Haaland. What's Haaland's ownership now? I guess it's not as high as João Pedro still, actually, is it? In my head, I was thinking he's like already pushing 70%, but I don't think it's that high. Bro has a latency of 500,000 milliseconds. Senesi's number 2, Gabriel 3, Semenyo, Guehi, Gyökeres, Anthony, Alderete, Doku, Saka, Sarr. Let's have a look at most transferred out. It's close. It's very close. It's Salah, 652,000 have sold. 57.9%. Okay. João Pedro is second, Wood third, Chalobah, Ekitike, Kukureya, Gakpo, Palmer, Livramento, Bruno. Oh, Bruno Sellers. Don't know about that. Surely not. Surely not before Sunderland home. He'll come good. Bruno Vice is crazy. What do you mean? Who's your vice captain then, guys? Who's everyone got vice captain? Who would you go with? Gyökeres. I guess Gyökeres is fine. Volta, Messi, Cunha. How long has everyone been playing FPL for? I guess some of you won't know this one, but I do like the on this day tweets, and you probably saw the one I did earlier. But on this day, 2015, so it's 10 years to the day since Sergio Aguero bagged 5 goals in, I think it was like 62 minutes against Newcastle, which is 25 points. But he did that in like 62 minutes. I don't think anyone's ever scored 2 hat-tricks in a Prem game, and I'm a bit disappointed actually they didn't let him play longer, whoever was in charge then. Can't remember who was the manager then. Oh, I can picture his face, but I can't even remember his name. The Italian guy. They had to nerf him. He played for 6 years, 2012, 8 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5th season. 40 years. FPL's been out since 2002-03, so... No, it wasn't Pellegrini. Mancini, that was it. Yeah, Mancini. Or was it Pellegrini in charge then? Anyway, I was picturing Mancini's face, but I don't know if he was the actual manager then. Could be wrong with that. Is Tom Dollymore still bench boosting? I think he deactivated it, but I don't know. I'll ask. He took over in the 15-16 season. So, okay, so it was Pellegrini. Got you. I just feel like whatever I do, it's going to be the wrong one. Like, if I don't bench boost, Gabriel's going to start. João Pedro will start. Leeds versus Tottenham goes ahead. And someone on my bench gets a return. Or if I use it now... You know, Gabriel just sits this one out this game week. Or maybe Leeds versus Tottenham is too risky to go ahead and they call the game off. Or maybe no one gets a return. It's like a 6-point bench boost. But basically, if I save the bench boost, I can either roll in game week 8 and I still have a decent bench there. Dubravka could be home to Leeds. That's better than this week. Mukiele's got Wolves home. That's better than this week. And Dyer's got City, that's not great. And Anderson's got Arsenal, that's not great. But I could do Ndiaye to Enzo or Ndiaye to Sarr, something like that. Maybe I'll spend 2 moves by Gordon. If I do that, Stack drops to the bench and he's got Burnley. So those in combination, I think, is just a stronger bench this week. But oh, Tom said that he's watching to see what I'm doing. Tom, if you're watching, they were asking what you're doing. I was just explaining why I think I'm probably going to leave it until Game Week 8. That's where I'm at. I just hope nothing goes wrong. Obviously, I'll have 4 free transfers as well coming back from the break. What I don't want is obviously to be in a situation where I'm having to spend 2 transfers to fix players that have problems just so I can bench boost. I don't want to constantly be spending moves to set up the perfect bench. But in theory, nothing can... I'm going to regret saying this. In theory, nothing can stop me bench boosting in Game Week 8 because I'll have 4 free transfers. If I really was set on it, I could bench boost in Game Week 8. And I've got 4 transfers. In theory, I just need to spend one of those, like Ndiaye to Enzo, and then it's a better bench. But yeah, I'll have 4 free transfers. I'm rolling again this week, so that'll have me up to 4 transfers. Literally my worst night would be like Dubravka picking up an injury or losing his spot somehow, because he's the one player I really just don't want to spend a keeper transfer, let alone upgrading Dubravka to a 4.5 mil. That would be like the absolute worst case scenario. Like other minor issues, like I don't know, let's say Bruno picks up an injury, like he's replaceable and the bench is still strong. So the plan is to save the bench boost and use it in Game Week 8. Craig says, sorry, I did Craig. It was Patrick. He says the bench boost, Concert, Paquetá, Porro and Sanchez, and you've got the wild card left. It's hard to say about knowing your starting 11, but I think you could do an international break wild card bench boost Game Week 9 in your situation. Off the top of my head, that's probably better than bench boosting that this week. It's not a bad bench, but Sanchez, Liverpool, Paquetá, Arsenal, you're really counting on Concert and Porro. And does Porro definitely start after last game week? Right, it's really windy here, so I'm going to have to actually close the window again because the door's rumbling. Anyone else tuned in the UK? It's extremely windy, and I can see why there's weather warnings for tomorrow if it's only going to get worse. Right. Keep your questions coming. Start Stack or João Pedro? João Pedro. João Pedro or Calvert-Lewin? Oh, I think João Pedro just about that. Guehi or Foster? Guehi. Let's get a captain poll up while we're here. Who would the options be? Haaland, Salah. I don't even know who to put on this poll. Should it just be Haaland and not Haaland? And other? Or Gyökeres? Don't know if people are going Gyökeres captain, are they? Saka? People going Saka over Gyökeres? I'll just leave it at that. If you go other, let us know in chat who's the other. Semenyo. Ah, yeah, Semenyo. Fair. Well, the poll is up. Haaland, Salah, Gyökeres, other. So if you go other, let us know. Your vice is Rice. Surely not. Semenyo. Yeah, okay. Your game week could either get off to a great start tonight or a terrible start, but you're going to properly have something to cheer on tonight if you've got Semenyo captain. I mean, I've got Semenyo and Senesi, so I've got a couple of players to cheer on tonight. If anyone's tuned in late, if you're in London, whether you're passing through or you live there, I'm going to be here tomorrow, the Thirsty Bear in London, from about midday, so good games on tomorrow. I'll be there. There's an FPL meetup, so come along. Even if you don't know anyone, they're always good fun. Get pissed, watch the football with like-minded people, talk about FPL, talk about football, talk about other things. I'll see you there, Matt. Peter says, right, I'm here, what's the plan? I'm delaying the bench boost. Could be a mistake, but we've just been talking about the bench boost and I'm delaying it. It's not active. If it was active, you'd see that around the bench, and it's not active. The bench boost and triple captain are the two chips that you can deactivate. Are you buying drinks? Yeah, I'll probably be... What will I have? Camden Pale Ale? Or a beer? Yeah, if you come along, I'll get you a beer. Especially if it's your first one. What's everyone's favourite drink? I know not everyone drinks, so I'm sorry for the question if you don't. What's everyone's favourite drink if you're out and about or at the pub or whatever? What's the weather situation people are talking about? Oh yeah, well there's a weather warning for Leeds, and there was an article earlier about like a contingency plan for the Leeds versus Tottenham game, and it's on my profile if you want to like properly read it, but this was it here. It's just a whole article about what they'll potentially do depending on the weather for tomorrow's game. Leeds versus Spurs. I mean, I guess I'll still be at the meet-up even if the first game isn't on, but I don't want to fearmonger either. It looks likely that the game will be on. Whiskey. Can't read that one. Mojito. Water. Nice. Guinness. I don't know what that is. Cruz Campo. Yeah, nice. Water. Beer. Gin. Corona. Orange juice. Lovely. John McGinn, captain. What? Coconut water. So yeah, 87%, 88% Haaland captain, 3% Salah, 5% Gyökeres, 5% other. Let's do a poll on the bench boost then, and whether I should use it or not. Should I bench boost? Because I never do polls about my team normally. Right, let me keep going with the questions. Get your votes in on that poll, what you would do with my bench. Where did I get to? Was it Fahad's question? Should I bench boost with Dubravka, Stack, Anderson and Richards? Yeah, I would. My bench is the same, except you've got Richards where I've got Mukiele, and I would bench boost that if I were you. Yeah, I would bench boost that. Sorty says start Guehi and Anderson or Van Dijk and Ndai. Why is it the two combinations? I'd play Ndai over Anderson. And I'd probably play... I'd play Guehi over Van Dijk just about as well. So Guehi and Ndai. But if I had to pick one or the other, the second combination for sure. I'm not sure what Tom's doing. No idea, sorry. Kay says, struggling to find a way to fit João Pedro in my starting lineup. My starting 11 is Sanchez, Van de Ven, Lacroix, Konsa Dunk, Semenya, Reinders, Salaminte, Evan Nilsson and Haaland. The subs are Dubravka, João Pedro and Juve. What are your thoughts? I would say it has to be one of the defenders. Probably bench Dunk. Yeah, bench Dunk and then start João Pedro over Dunk. That's what I would do. It's one of those, like, Dunk could keep a clean sheet. They haven't really been keeping them, have they? I think they've got like one so far. So I would favour the attacker in that situation and start João Pedro over Dunk. The rest of the team just makes sense to start. So you've got Dubravka and Sanchez. I'd actually consider Dubravka over Sanchez if I were you. They'll probably both concede, but clean sheet odds... Chelsea 17%. Oh, they're both 17 actually. Fair enough. No, that one's a coin toss. Like Sanchez is fine. I thought Burnley would have slightly better odds, but they don't. So no, that's fine. Go with your gut on the keeper there. If anyone's got Sanchez, Dubravka, which one are you starting? Sorry, Kano. Let me find you. Was it not the one about Tarkowski, Donnarumma and that? And he said who to start and bench, and I said bench Foster. Was it not that? Nathan, thanks for the super chat as well there, and for the 8 months as well. FPL no idea. Mark says, hi all, apologies for joining late. Gabriel Flag. Yeah, he went off in the Champions League, and Arteta said something about he thinks he got a kick in the first half, but he said something like, I wasn't worried about him though. Or I wasn't too concerned. Something like that he said. So it doesn't sound serious, but he took him off early in that Champions League game. I think he was potentially taking him off with a view to starting him against West Ham, so I think he probably starts. But yeah, for the bench boost, for those wondering, and I'm really like... I didn't have time to properly think about it earlier because I went out. But basically, it's the Gabriel Flag, the João Pedro maybe. I think they both probably start. And then it's also the Leeds versus Tottenham game, which has got a weather warning. I think that game probably goes ahead. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't. But can we see the clean sheet odds? Sure. And it's like... does that get called off? Because that would ruin the bench completely. And also, if it does go ahead, what's that game going to realistically be like for Stack especially? Maybe it won't affect the game massively. Maybe it will be I don't know, more of a poor quality game if there's like severe weather at that game. Arsenal 55% clean sheet, Villa 42, Man United 38, Newcastle 36, Bournemouth 34. Projected goals, Arsenal 2.6, Man United 2.1, City and Newcastle on the same. So yeah, Arsenal big favourites for a clean sheet. Will they keep one? And will Gabriel start? 20 minutes till deadline. I think I missed a couple of messages here. Let me go back up and find them. Tuna says, same bench, but you've got Gudmundsson instead of Mukiele. Would you bench boost? I think that's the same, really. I think Mukiele and Gudmundsson, there's nothing between them. And I'd say probably wouldn't. because in Game Week 8 you've got Gudmundsson against Burnley. Yeah, it's such a tricky one because the bench is never going to line up perfectly, and I just need to not be selfish with the bench. But I don't like these little uncertainties this week. It's a really difficult decision. And part of me just wants to get it out of the way. Leeds of Rubbish says, thoughts on doing Dewsbury Hall to Minte and benching Van Dijk? Yeah, I don't mind that. I'd say that's an upgrade for sure. Minte over Van Dijk for this week, yeah. Yeah, I like that. I would do that. Niall, thank you as well. He says, wildcard is Pope, Dubravka, Timber, Senesi, Munoz, Anderson, Alderete, Gordon, Saka, Sarr, Semenyo, Minte, Gyökeres, Haaland, DCL. You also want Bowen and Enzo. We don't know if you need them. I think that's a brilliant draft. Yeah, I think that's a really, really nice draft. Yeah, I can't suggest any changes, to be honest. It's a really nice draft. I mean, Enzo versus Sarr, it's very close. Like, Sarr's great. DCL, I'm the only one I'm not a fan of there, but I don't know if you need to bench boost still, because you could just drop DCL to a 4.4 mil forward. But, because you're going to have to bench him anyway, aren't you, with this team? Like, I'm not benching any of those 5 mids. But maybe you need to bench boost still, I don't know, in which case that's fine for Game Week 8. FPL, no, oh, sorry, I did that. It was... Hang on. FPL, no idea again. Part 1. Hi, Oscar. I need help, please. Always planned a Game Week 7 free hit and Game Week 8 wildcard. Is it worth instead to get -4 this week? Milenkovic and Williams to Gabriel Mukiele. Hang on, let me wrap my head around this one again. Game Week 7 free hit, Game Week 8 wildcard. Is it worth a -4 this week? But it's Game Week 7 now. What do you mean on the Game Week 7 free hit? Milenkovic and Williams to Gabriel Mukiele. From -4. Not a big fan of it for a -4. Can you not just buy someone else like Senesi this week? Williams down to Senesi or something like that? And if you're wildcarding in Game Week 8, I really just don't like a wildcard the week before wildcarding. But no, I wouldn't take a -4 before wildcarding. Salah says, wildcard active, Welbeck and Stack or DCL and Minte. I don't like Welbeck. He's not going to start every game. So I would say the second option, DCL and Minte. It's a shame Strand Larsen's a bit of a doubt, because otherwise I would have said go for him. Foden captain. I know he got the hat-trick, didn't he, before, but no, not for me. Shout out to Ollie and Ollie in Amsterdam. Hope you're having a good time out there, boys. Hang on. Yeah, so I'd say DCL Minte. Mark says part 2. So the team is Henderson, Kelleher, Van der Ven, Senesi, Byrne, Salah, Semenyo, Doku, Reinders, Elliott, don't ask, Haaland, Pedro and Gu. I would wildcard this week if I were you. I would wildcard. Yeah, if I had that team, I personally would be wildcarding. I'd be getting rid of Salah. And you haven't got much time, so move fast. I'd be getting like Gyökeres in, an Arsenal defender, maybe Saka. You could just go pretty close to this, to be fair, and that'd be a solid wildcard. But Ndiaye out and Enzo in. Maybe Tarkowski over Vardiol. But if I had your team, Mark, I think honestly I would activate it. Oh, Tom's activated his bench boost. That's interesting. So Tom's going it. For those that were asking earlier, I know lots of you have been asking what Tom's doing. He's used his. BHWXM says, is Dubravka, Tarkowski, Mukiele and Foster a good bench boost? It's not bad, but I think you could probably get better out of it. Like, Game Week 8, Burnley have got Leeds, so I'd probably use it Game Week 8 rather than now. That's interesting, Tom's going for it, because he's the GOAT as well. I was thinking don't use it, so... Tom Dollymore, #1 all-time FPL manager. He does videos on my channel. Kian says, would you start João Pedro or Xhaka? I would start João Pedro. Nathan says, Nan fell down the stairs, so I'm going to triple... You're going to captain Doku. Well, I hope Doku does your Nan proud, and you as well, Nathan. And if that's true, then I'm sorry to hear that. Cutter Guy says triple captain Haaland. I think I'd save the triple captain if I had it. I think this week is fine, but I was talking about this earlier. Haaland's got Leeds home and Sunderland home to come in the first half of the season still, so I would save the triple captain personally for one of those 2 weeks. It's not terrible to use it now though at all. No, I've got it deactivated. It's one of those, like, basically to recap for those that have joined late, like Gabriel, he is flagged, but I think he does start. João Pedro not called up for Brazil. I think he does start. There's a couple of little lingering doubts there. And then there's also the Leeds versus Tottenham game, which is like a weather warning. And I think the game probably goes ahead. But I'd need all those three things to be fine. Or I could look to use it in Game Week 8 when Dubravka's got Leeds home. Stacker's playing against Leeds. Anderson's got Arsenal. That's not great. But Mukiele's got Wolves home. In theory, that's better. And I'll have 4 free transfers. So... yeah, I mean, fair enough. Tom's gone for it, though, so I could be wrong on that one. And I hope he's right, because I'd love to see him... because was he like 1.7 million? And obviously, the all-time rankings like fluctuate based on current ranks as well. So he's like trying to claw back to #1 technically right now. So yeah, I hope it goes well for him if he does see it through. But yeah, I landed on a different decision. But good luck to all the bench boosters. 38% say yes, I should use it. 62% say don't. Stack plays for Leeds, not against. Sorry, I meant to say Burnley. Obviously, I know he plays for Leeds. Stack's got Burnley, is what I meant. So if I did Ndai to Enzo or Ndai to Sarr, my bench would be Dubravka home to Leeds, Stack Burnley away, Mukiele Wolves home, Arsenal home for Anderson. So 3 out of 4 on that bench I like. Anderson's not great. This week, I would say 2 on my bench I don't really like a lot or enough. And I'm also counting on everything in my starting 11 going swimmingly. But there's always a risk. Something could happen over the international break and that could massively mess my plans up. But that's where I'm at. I'm leaving it. If you're questioning it, it's not worth it. Yeah, I just don't feel quite comfortable enough with it. And if, like, assuming the game goes ahead, Leeds home to Spurs, what's the quality of that game going to be like if it's torrential rain and all these things? Sorry, let me catch up with the questions as well. Jack says to bench boost or not to bench boost. That is a question, Oscar. That is exactly it, Jack. I think I've answered it though. 10 minutes to go to the deadline. Nothing goes wrong. I'm going to make last minute changes, so I'm going to stick with it. Salah says, hi, is Strand Larsen and Stack better? It would be if I knew Strand Larsen was okay, but Pereira said he's not 100%, so that's the problem. And just based on that, I'd say No. Yeah, I'm not on the bench boost. Specifically, Vague says 2.8k watching, only 650 likes. Pull your fingers out. Roger says start João Pedro, Stack, or Mukiele. I would start João Pedro out of those three against Liverpool. BHWXM says, would you start Tarkowski, Vardiel, Saliba, or Senesi? Oh, is there no one else you can bench, like in your midfield? I suppose I'd start him over Vardiel. I think the clean sheet odds will slightly favour Vardiel, but Tarkowski's amazing for DEFCONs. What's the clean sheet odds? We'll do a final recap of those. Arsenal 55%, Villa 42, Man United 38. So Man City 32, Everton 31. Yeah, I'd say Tarkowski over Vardiel based on that. I forgot to say as well, if anyone's joining late, I'm giving everybody free premium membership to the Focal app. So if you want to take advantage of that, I've put the link in the description, and I'm doing it for this game week. So this weekend's your chance to activate that, and you get completely free premium membership on the Focal app, which lasts a month, and then you can decide if you want to keep it going or cancel. If you want to cancel, that's fair enough. No offense taken. But the link's in the description. I'll put it in the chat as well. It's just fpl.page/redeem/free. That's the link if you want to activate it. And you get access to the premium features on the tools, loads of toys to play with. You get articles written by me. You hide all the ads, customize the layout, remove widgets, change the theme, stuff like that. So anyway, if you're interested, it's free for an entire month with that link. Is Tom's bench boost active? Asked Will. I think it is. He said to me he's going for it. So if anyone wants to copy Tom, yeah, he said he's activating it. Well, I can't say for sure if he might change his mind last minute, but he said earlier that he has activated it. Mine is not active. Let's tweet my team as well. All right, game week 7. Game week 8. Rolled the transfer. 4 free transfers in game week 8. Bench boost saved. Boom. Publish. Right. Oscar, you're so adorable. Thank you very much. It's a nice message to flick back over to on the other window. Start João Pedro, Stack, Mukiele, João Pedro. I did that one, didn't I? It was Ollie. Ollie said bench boost 7 or 8. He's got Dubravka, João Pedro, Stack, Mukiele, or Dubravka, Van de Ven, Stack, and Mukiele. So you're benching João Pedro this week. I would say gaming 8, Ollie. I forget who Spurs have got. Who have Spurs got in gaming 8? Villa home. So you got, yeah, I would say gaming 8, Ollie. It's very close, that one, because you got João Pedro on the bench though. Ooh. I'd use it now, Ollie, and bench boost João Pedro. I wouldn't be comfortable with João Pedro on the bench without using it. Yeah, I'd bench boost now, Ollie. Just get it out of the way. It's an overrated chip, and I probably should use it now as well, but in theory, everything lines up better in 8, so we'll see how it comes back after the break. I'm not going to get through all the messages, so we'll have to pause Super Chat. Sorry to everyone that's waiting. So yeah, I think Tom's used his for those questions about him. Has he done any transfers? No, I think he's rolled, Will. He's rolled. I believe. FPL No Idea Mark says, thanks as always for your insight. You've got no idea, pun intended, how torn up I am after your wildcard advice while making dinner. Hashtag FPL dilemma is real. It just was my instinct when I saw your team, Mark, to use it. Just my thoughts, honest thoughts. Yeah, I'd probably wildcard and get rid of Salah, get like Arsenal players in, players like that you were lacking. Piran J says, Voltamada, Enzo, Mamardashvili, next game we can bench boost. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, that's a nice bench. It's a better looking bench, I think, in Game Week 8, but it's not bad for this week if that's what you're asking. Yeah, I mean, Mamardashvili will be nailed for probably like the next 5-6 game weeks at least. Isak over Gyökeres. Nah, Gyökeres all day in FPL terms. Different debate who's the better footballer, but Gyökeres, way better FPL asset right now, in my opinion. Great stream as always. Thank you, Mr. F. Appreciate that. RD says, Easy Door or Calvert-Lewin on the wild card. Oh, God. Neither are great, are they? Probably Calvert-Lewin. I don't think either of them would end up in your team for long, but I'd say Calvert-Lewin. What's he got? Bournemouth? No. He's got Tottenham home and then Burnley away next two. That's quite nice. Nat the one says best cheap midfield to buy, excluding Senesi. Do you need to start them? Who is there? There's like Richards for 4-5. I'd probably go with him. Nah, bench boost not active. I'm saving it. No bench boost. Great stream, mate. Keep going. I love your expert choices. I mean, they're not always expert choices. Plenty haven't been so far this season, but I'm certainly trying. Start 2, bench 2. Reinders, João Pedro, Senesi, Richards. I would start... Definitely not Richards. It's just the first 3. Senesi, João Pedro, Reinders. And I would say Reinders and Senesi. It's one of those though, like João Pedro is very highly owned and I think he's only marginally worse than Reinders, so I don't mind starting João Pedro over Reinders. But my honest thoughts would be Reinders and Senesi and not starting João Pedro. Palmer is playing. Palmer is not playing. Unless Maresca lied. No, I've not bench boosted. Saving it. It was just, it boiled down to a few little uncertainties, like the Gabriel flag. I think he probably does play. The João Pedro one was weird because he wasn't called up by Brazil because of a minor injury, but he did play off the bench in the Champions League. And then it's like there's a weather warning for Leeds versus Tottenham, and I think that would be fine as well. But I don't like all these little doubts. And in Game Week 8, Dubravka does have Leeds home. So Stack's got Burnley. Mukiele's got Wolves home. That's better than this week. Anderson does have Arsenal. That's worse. But in theory, with 4 free transfers, if I don't get any nasty surprises over the international break, then Game Week 8 looks better. So I'm saving it. But yeah, for those that are asking about Tom, more questions about Tom. I think he's used his, yeah. I think he has. There's a weather warning for a lot of northwest of England. Your little cousin just took a -24 hit. Tell them to activate the free hit or bench boost and it will wipe the hits. There is no world where a -24 is worth it. So if they've still got a free hit triple captain, they can activate it still and it'll wipe the hits. Kevin. What do you mean Kevin? What does that mean? Who's Kevin? Kevin. Start Reinders or João Pedro. I mean, if you want to just cover yourself, play João Pedro. I think Reinders is potentially slightly better with Brentford away though. But João Pedro is like the boring, safe, protect your rank choice. So it's up to you what kind of manager you are. I think Reinders is marginally better. So let me just refresh and make sure that's all saved. Yeah, no bench boost. Do you play video games? Not really nowadays. I used to play Rocket League loads, but I kind of gave up after getting really, really high ranks. Play like FIFA with mates still, pro clubs. Triple captain and bench boost doesn't wipe hits. Yeah, that's true. Can you hit a flip reset? I can, yeah. I used to do flip resets. All sorts. Ceiling shots. Double taps. I mean, I wasn't that insane, but I had like... Must have been about 3,000 hours playtime, which I guess is actually a lot now I say it out loud. That is a lot. I did answer the Reinders and João Pedro one, James, but now the deadline's passed. But I did answer it. I saw it. Why has the music stopped? Is that because it's the deadline? It is the deadline. It's half past. That is it. Is there anyone to raid? Before you all go, thank you for being here. If you did, well, I was going to say if you did swing by. Obviously you did if you're hearing me say these words. But yeah, thank you for coming by. Who should we raid? Is there anyone raid? Anyone to raid? Oh, we could go to FPL Era. Yeah, he did actually tag me in a tweet earlier saying hopefully Focal raids, so we could go over to him. He's got it in subscriber only mode though, which is quite cheeky, but there we go. We'll go over to FPL Era. Niall, send him some love. Spam Focal raid in his chat. Link in the description to get the free premium membership on the Focal app if you're interested. Thank you as always for tuning in. I didn't play the bench boost. Enjoy the game week, everyone. Enjoy the international break, and I'll see you soon for the next one. Focal out.